friends. This is Mrs. Francis. Welcome to my working space, my kitchen. I wanted to start making these videos to help you with your English language learning through reading. So I am going to be sharing some videos of reading and thinking and developing language at the same time. So welcome to my working space. Let's go ahead and get started. First of all, I wanted to show you why I am making these videos. I wanted to show you how important it is to read at least 20 minutes a day. So if you notice, student A, student B, and student C, depending on how much you read each day, that's how many words you're going to be adding to your language. So just by reading 20 minutes a day, you will add 1,800,000 words to your language. So it's so important to read. I wanted to bring that up. So these videos are going to be max of 20 minutes. I'm not going to be reading for 20 minutes, but I wanted to teach you how reading works, and it's fun, and it's not just about turning pages and reading word after word. It's reading and engaging with the book. Way in the back, you're going to see this chart that I made with my daughter. You're going to see the book Head Heart. That is the strategy we're going to be using while we are reading all of our books. So the book, the B is for the book. What is in the book? So as you're reading, think about, what is this book about? The head will be what surprises me. So while I'm reading my book, what is going on in my head? What am I thinking about the text? The last H is the heart, which is so important because that's what reading is all about. It's about impacting our lives with what we are reading. So let's go ahead and get started, and you'll see how I follow this format as we are reading our book. So the book we're going to get started with this week is a book called Bus 17. That is the title of the book. As I start reading the book, the very first thing I'd like to do is look at the cover and think about what the book is about. The book is not going to teach me everything because there's already something I know about the book. So by looking at the cover, I know the story is going to be about a bus. Of course, Bus 17. I look at the back of the book to see if there's anything else. Maybe the author has some notes, but I don't see anything that can help me understand the story. I also look in the front to see if there is a table of contents, but there's not in this type of book. If there was a table of contents, it will give me an idea of the topics that are covered in my book, and you will see that feature with nonfiction books. This is a fiction book. Also, I want you to notice that this book at the very back has a glossary, and the words are class, counselor, education, graduate, principal, rule, schedule, school, study, and teacher. So while I read these words, it starts creating in my mind an idea of what the book is going to be about. And I see that it talks about a class, a schedule, school. So of course, by having a bus on the cover, it tells me that most likely is going to be talking about what happens in a school setting, maybe. So now that I stop thinking about my book, I can go ahead and get started with my book. I'm going to first read some pages without stopping, just so you can hear the text. And then we're going to read it again, the same pages, asking some questions and connections that we have with the book. Is that all right? All right, let's do this. It was early morning. The sky was gray. Juan waited for the bus. A gust of wind shot through his thin jacket. He wasn't ready for the cold or the dark mornings of November. And you can see on the cover that he is wearing a pretty light jacket. Juan's family had just moved to a town near Boston. It was so different from his tiny village in Guatemala. There, he would walk to school with his friends. They would joke and laugh the whole way. It was Juan's first day at school, new school. He stood alone. There were no other kids in sight. Juan knew he was early. There was no way he was going to miss the bus. I'm fine on my own, Juan said to himself. He didn't feel ready to make friends. His English wasn't very good yet. Doing well in school was important to him. He planned to study and work hard. Study, working on learning a subject by reading, remembering facts, and other activities. His family had moved so he could get a better education. Juan wanted to be the first in his family to graduate. Education. Learning that often takes place in school. Not this time. Graduate. To finish an educational program and receive a diploma or a degree. That's something some of you guys are working on. Juan thought back to what his dad has said about following the rules. He wanted everything to go right today. The bus will take him to his new school. He had looked at the bus route map again and again. Bus 17 will stop at Glen and Green. And there it was. The driver pulled over. The doors swung open. Students hurried down the street. Juan stepped on. He took the first seat and put his backpack beside him. He leaned over his backpack, pretending to look through something. Good move, he told himself. No one could sit there now. The bus started down the street. Juan finally looked out the window. The houses and stores looked familiar. His mom had taken him to school to sign up. She must have gone a different way. The bus stopped in front of a brick building. It looked like a school, but Juan was confused. It wasn't the high school. It was much smaller. All right, so we're going to stop on page 19, and now we're going to go back and apply some of our questions to our text. So as I read the very first page where Juan is heading to his bus stop, it says that a gust of wind shot through the air, and he probably got a little cold because he was wearing a thin jacket. So that makes me think, did he not know where that he was supposed to wear another jacket? Does he not know that he gets cold in November? On this page, page 4 and page 5, it talks about where Juan is from. So if I can make a sentence, I will say that Juan is from Guatemala. But he does not live in Guatemala anymore. He lives in Boston. I'm gonna show you a little picture that I have. This is what Boston City looks like. Is it different or the same? It's very different, is it? Boston has big buildings. Guatemala does not. And I can see in this picture how Juan is going to school with his friends and they're walking to school. The bus right here looks way different than the buses we have here in the United States. So he is new to the United States. When I got to this page, there was the word no kids in sight. Sight is from the word see. So you could not see any more kids. He was there all alone. I can see that education is important for them because his parents brought Juan to the United States so he can continue his education. I can make a text-to-text connection. I remember reading once about the reasons why people come to the United States, and education is one of the reasons why a lot of people emigrate and come to the United States so they can obtain a degree. I love Juan's dad's advice to him about following rules and directions. And here's the bus. I can see that it's not bus 17. Wasn't he supposed to take bus 17? Just questioning. And here, when he got to school, he says it did not look like high school. Do you think he ended up taking the wrong bus or the right bus? Let's see. Tomorrow we'll find out. Today I want us to make a list of words to be able to make sentences about our text. So reading is about engaging with the text. Now that we finished reading the text, we can write about the text. So we read, we talked about it, and now we can write. Let's go ahead and make a list of, 8 to 10 words that we can use to make sentences. So if we look at the first page, I can see the character's name. So I have Juan, and that will be my first word or name that I can use. In the next page, I can write the word Guatemala because I learned that he is from Guatemala. I'm also going to write the word Boston because now it tells me where he lives. So that will be another word I can use to make a sentence. As I flip the pages, I can continue making a list of words so I can make sentences. How about the word education? We could also talk about feelings. How does he feel as the bus is coming over to pick them up? I'm going to use the word nervous because I think that is how he feels. Nervous. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go ahead and make 2 more. Oh, he makes it to school. So I'm going to write the word school. And of course, I think bus 17 will be helpful because not only is the title of the story, but it could also help me make a sentence. So now we can start with Juan, and let's make a sentence using the name or the very first word that we have on our list. So when I have the word Juan, how can I put that in a whole sentence? Like, I am from Guatemala. We know that Juan is from Guatemala. So we can make that sentence. If I was with my students in my classroom, they will be dictating the words to me. So now I'm just gonna have to do it myself. I do miss you, friends. Juan is from Guatemala. Don't forget that every sentence, not because it's a name, but every sentence begins with a capital, and I also add a period. All right, so I cross it out because I used it in a sentence. The next one, oh, I already used the word Guatemala, so I can also cancel that out. Very good. Now here's Boston. How do I make a sentence about Boston? Is he from Boston? No, he now lives in Boston. So I can say Juan lives, and I'm going to add an S because it's talking about just one person, in Boston. Notice how I put a period at the end, and I also capitalize Boston because it's the name of a state. Okay, I can cancel that out. Now I'm going to make a sentence with education. A sentence that I can make with the word education is, yes, he liked to study because he said that. But the book emphasizes that that is one of the reasons why Juan and his family came to the United States. So we can make a sentence about that. Juan is in the United States to get an education. Again, Juan is in the USA to get an education. And I'm going to make sure that I have a period at the end. So I have 3 sentences so far. Juan is from Guatemala. You say that with me. Juan is from Guatemala. My turn. Juan lives in Boston. Say it with me. Juan lives in Boston. My turn. Juan is in, oh, look, see how good writers always read their writing because you can find your own mistakes. Oh my goodness. That's why reading aloud is so important. Juan is in the USA to get an education. Say it with me. Juan is in the USA to get an education. Very good job. All right, so I'm running out of room, so I'm going to go ahead and erase these and take my next word, and it's nervous. So I'm going to make a sentence with nervous. Nervous is a feeling. So I can say Juan, or I can say he, because I've introduced his name several times. So when I say he, I know I'm talking about Juan because that's the main character in the story. He is nervous. And that would be a great sentence. Now, if I had students with a different level, I would say he is nervous because, or I know he is nervous because. But he is nervous is just a good sentence to get started. Here's the word school. I know he made it to school. I'm just not sure if he made it to the right school, so I'm not going to make that sentence yet. The sentence that I'm going to make using the word school is that he is new to this school. That's something the book talked about. So I'm going to say he is new to school. He is new to school. Or what about if I say, instead of new to school, in a U.S. school? Because I'm sure he went to school in his country. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. So because I'm not sure, I'm going to say he is new to a U.S. school. He is new to a USA school. I think this one is better. Let's read these two sentences. My turn. He is nervous. Read it with me. He is nervous. My turn. He is new to a USA school. Read it with me. He is new to a USA school. Perfect. All right, now I have bus 17. I'm going to say something about bus 17. Maybe he got on bus 17, or maybe he got on the wrong bus. I'm not sure yet. Maybe I can just say that bus 17 is the title of the book, because I'm not sure if he got on the right bus or not. Bus 17 is the title of the book. Again, bus 17 is the title of the book. And this one should be lowercase, not capital letter. Very good. Okay, bus 17 is the title of the book. Look at my spelling, oh my. Okay, read it with me. Bus 17 is the title of the book. Now that we finished making sentences, I have a little homework for you. So let's push this aside so it doesn't distract you. But these questions are about the book and how you respond to the text. So you can either comment on the video below or go to Google Classroom if you are assigned to my Google Classroom and respond to these questions. How did you feel on your first day of school in the USA? Because I'm sure you had these experiences as well. The next question is, do you think Juan is at the correct school or at the wrong school? Ooh, that would be up to us to predict. So in one way that you can answer these questions, for the first one, you can start, you don't have to, but it will be a complete sentence if you start by saying, on my first day of school in the United States, I felt, because feel is right now, felt is in the past, and you already had that feeling of in the past. So finish that sentence and tell me how you felt on your first day of school in the US. For the next question, you can do a started sentence. You don't have to, but you can say, I think Juan is at the right school because, or I think Juan is in the wrong school because, and complete the sentence and let me know what you think. All right, this is it for today's lesson. Tomorrow we'll read about what happens when he gets to that brick building that he made it to. Adios.